views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello everyone, welcome to Open BxRx Remote, brought to you from my living workspace, Charlie Executive Suite. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll speak to representatives from New York Roadrunners about the different programs used to inspire the youth and the entire community to run. After that, we'll learn how the CB Health and Wellness Center is helping people to heal the mind, body, and spirit through sound bath meditation and nutritional programs. Then we'll find out about Pregones PRTT Stage Garden Rumba, featuring multidisciplinary artists performing in the outdoor green spaces in the Bronx. Later on in the show, Bobby Sue brings us an up-to-date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, this week's Open Artist Spotlight shines on singer, songwriter, and producer Lew Mckenzie, who will perform for us at the end of the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way, because now we are officially open. Welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche for the next hour, encouraging you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, you can follow moi on FB, Twitter, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So, if you are looking to become an avid runner, our first guests are part of the New York Roadrunners, a nonprofit organization geared towards inspiring people to run. New York Roadrunners serves almost 700,000 people through races, community runs, and more than 100,000 kids through their free youth programs. And joining us to tell us more about the organization and its programs, we welcome Head of Youth Programming, Chrissy, Odalen, and Head of Community Programming, Celinda, Casanova. Hello and welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First, I want to open up by just saying, hey, part of the family. Woo! Completed my New York City Marathon in 2014, running for Team for Kids under New York Roadrunners. So it's so awesome to have you ladies with us today.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I just wanted to just share that in common. However, we must talk about this grand reopening and, of course, the importance of bringing community together to become, I guess, mindful in their physical activities, right? So let's just start with Chrissy and just give us a little insight as to what this transition has looked like coming out of the pandemic.
Sure. So for our youth program, Rising New York Roadrunners, we're slowly getting back into person. We had a really great school year where we were able to continue to serve all of our kids and teachers through a lot of virtual offerings and updates to our curriculum and activities. And we're now slowly coming back to in-person races for our youth. We've had some over the summer and are gearing up towards the fall, including a couple that are coming up in the Bronx in August and September.
All right, so Celinda, since you are the head of community programming, can you walk us through what this looks like? Like, how do you establish these programs? Are they partnered up with schools? Are they partnered up with centers? Just give us a little insight as to what even registration looks like as well.
Sure. So I'll start with one of our programs and New York Roadrunners Open Run. We're a free weekly run walk program. We're set up in park sites all over the city. In the Bronx specifically, we're at Soundview Park. And it's a one-time sign up. You just provide us with your name, email, and your home park, your phone number, and that's all that's needed to show up weekly. You get a code, and you're free to come anytime you want. The courses are set up to be up to a 5K, but of course we reward on attendance, not time or distance, because we want to encourage anyone of any ability to come and join us. It's open to all ages and abilities. Strollers and dogs are also welcome as well. We really want to encourage that the community building aspect of it, because once you come, your community there takes care of you, and they start to look for you, hold you accountable to come week to week. They get to miss you, and they'll say, how come you didn't come next week? And then you have, before you know it, a whole neighborhood of people that are running and walking together in celebration. The other program that we have under community programs is New York Roadrunner Striders. So that's geared to adults from 40 up to over 100 in some cases, where we establish our program in senior centers across the city and have coach-led walks. So that program, as of yesterday, is returning back in person on a phased approach. So we look to have more sites enrolling as we come back post-pandemic.
Right. And so, Chrissy, going back to our previous question regarding this transitional state, I understand that you guys started the actual in-person in October of 2020. Obviously, there wasn't an actual marathon in 2020, and a lot of these activities were conducted virtually, and now we're coming back to in-person, and now you're building community. And I just want people to familiarize themselves with who the New York Road Runners are.
Sure. So New York Roadrunners, we're the world's premier community running organization, serving people of all ages and abilities across New York City's 5 boroughs and around the world. Most people do know us for the TCS New York City Marathon, but as we've been talking about, we have year-round programming for youth, adults, and seniors.
And you also have different divisions, right? Which is what we're discussing right now. The Rising New York Roadrunners is a different division. Then you have Team for Kids, right? Which is another, and I think you even have one for the little ones. I forgot the name of it though. Is it the 5?
Yeah, so all of our youth programming falls under Rising New York Roadrunners, and Team for Kids and Team for Kids alumni. We thank you very much, because without our Team for Kids runners, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. That's one of our fundraising arms that goes, all of the fundraising that the runners do in running in the marathon or some of our other marquee races goes to help support all of these programs, which are completely free. We don't charge anything for the schools to come out. We don't charge the kids to come and run in our youth events.
Also, is it a program that everyone is developing to actually earn their points or whatever? I think, because I believe you have to run a certain amount of half a marathons in order to participate in the TCS of New York City Marathon. Are you developing people to that place, or are we going to intimidate them by even having that conversation?
No, definitely. No, so I think these programs are very entry level or experience based. So we encourage people to come as much or as little as they like. So we are year round. Both programs are year round. And what we say they're attendance based incentives. So we reward as much as you come. So for Open Run, for instance, if you come 10 times, you get a t-shirt. If you volunteer 10 times, you get a complimentary race. So we encourage participation year round as much as you like. It doesn't matter to us how much or you do in one day, because it's really intrinsic motivation, and we want everyone to feel supported in their journey as they're entering a physical activity routine. You will find that in some areas we have runners and walkers or people who have just started and then become marathoners, but that's usually their own desire. They have their own goals, but again, the community carries them to that goal, and they get to know one another and say, okay, I'm going to start with your 1 lap walk, and we're going to do this together. And then before you know it, 1 lap becomes a 5K becomes a 10K, and it's very supportive all the way through, regardless of what people are achieving. So we have so many great transitional and motivational people that have come through the programs, and we just want everyone to give it a shot. And it's great because it's so close to home. In some locations they can just come right out, and we start at 9 a.m. weekly for Open Run every Saturday or Sunday. Some one is during the week in one location. And then for Striders, we have a regular schedule as well that we are set, that the Striders can meet with the coaches as well.
Yes, which, speaking of coaches, I got to shout out Coach Sid Howard and Asteria Clore Howard. Those are my coaches. Campanita, Asteria.
Yes,
but I just love the community of the New York Roadrunners, obviously, which is why it's important that people understand that it is a community, that it takes a village. It isn't just running. It's, yes, there's that possibility of just walking, and there's also that possibility of just being a supporter who's there, having in the water. I mean, it's an entire community, and it's all age brackets, which is what you're sharing. And so before we go, let's just share the process of people participating. Should they be of a different borough as well? Is it that they go to the website? Like, how are they able to find the locations, the times, and as well as the regular meeting time dates?
So all the information is on our website. We'll share the links at nyrr.org/openrun. You can find all the parks that we're active at. Same thing with Striders, nyrr.org/Striders. We're currently updating again. We're coming back in person there. But through the pandemic, we also created a virtual platform for Striders as programming across senior and community centers was paused completely. We developed online resources that included printable activities, on-demand videos that are available on YouTube, and then we live streamed classes every day through Zoom and also broadcast through our Facebook group. So we have all of that available on our website so people can join. If you're not near an in-person session, you can still join us virtually and until we get to your area.
That's lovely. Yes, you wanted to say something, Chrissy?
Yeah, and for the kids, parents can also come to the website and go into the youth section to see what in-person races are available if you're local to the area and can make it out to one of the parks. And there's also Active at Home, which has a lot of online videos and activities, running-based activities and games for kids to participate in on their own or with their family or friends. And lastly, if parents are interested in getting the program in their child's school, then they can just reach out to their school administrators or teachers and have them call us. We're always willing to go into new schools, and it's all free. So it's a win-win all around for everyone.
Absolutely. Yes.
One other thing to add is that just because you join one program doesn't mean you can't be a member of others. So we have that great ability that we have rising families in Open Run. We have Striders who are also have rising youth in their schools and homes. So there's always a cross collaboration between all of the programs that allow participation in each.
Yeah, and I just want to also just share with our viewers, if you're hearing all these different names, like don't get confused. The idea really is that there's this engagement and enrollment in just finding a physical activity that is welcoming on all levels. That's the conversation we're having right now. And before you ladies go, can you just share, let's say we have some young individuals who have been basically gaming the entire pandemic, and because unfortunately that generation is basically developing through this virtual platform, and so that physical component, it hasn't been part of their daily routine. What would you recommend to them?
So I would recommend just starting with one step. You don't have to go out there and think you're going to run a marathon right away. Just getting out there and moving and being active is really important. And this summer, we have the Rising New York Roadrunners virtual camp up for elementary and middle school kids. So it's on a 20-day cycle. There's 14 days of activities that can help you really get back into physical fitness and prepare yourself for the school year, whether it's physical education or if you're on a cross-country team or a running team.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you for leading in this new world order. And of course, for encouraging everyone to recognize that we are comprised of mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Celinda. You guys, once again, for more information on New York Roadrunners programs, especially the Rising New York Roadrunners, you can visit New York nyrr.org, nyrr.org, and you'll also be able to learn more about the New Balance Bronx 10 mile that's coming up. So make sure to visit. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to learn about again, we're still working on mind, body, spirit, so don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. So as we continue learning how to navigate through this pandemic and recognizing many individualized challenges have presented themselves, such as eating healthy and finding inner peace, the CB Health and Wellness Center is providing preventative medicine and healing practices through its wellness programs, which include cooking classes, Reiki, and sound meditation. And joining us to share more, we welcome CB Health and Wellness founder, Cecilia Basbus, and Reiki master and sound practitioner, Johanna Verley. Hello, ladies, and welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for this wonderful service that you're offering. I know, Cecilia, you actually originate from being a doctor by trade, right? And so that's in addition to being this nutritionist and this founder of this wellness center. Can you just walk us through what it looks like to become a member of the CB Health and Wellness Center?
Well, anyone that comes to the center will be provided with different things in the center. We're all focusing in preventive medicine and also try to improve your chronic conditions that you have at the moment. So we start with programs to help you transition into a more healthier diet, and we focus in plant-based nutrition. And then with that, we have exercise program, and also we have cooking classes. We learn how to cook plant-based. So we try to work on your diabetes and your cholesterol and pain and also digestion. And at the same time, we also work on the mindfulness and meditation just to reduce stress. So we try to target everything just to attack any conditions from the core, right? Instead of giving medication, we just try to do the preventive part, just to eliminating all the things that cause the illness.
Right. So it's really a matter of being proactive with oneself in recognizing that there are measures that can be taken to prevent something from either, getting worse and or even getting it, right? So I had the pleasure of experiencing Johanna Verley's sound bath meditation. So you got me, and so I'm happy that we're here to share it with our viewers. And then that's also loaning itself to the mind, body, spirit component, because you're also a Reiki master. Can you just share with everyone the actual connection that these elements really serve in just being at your best?
Well, Reiki and sound and meditation are all supportive modalities, right? When you're in a more relaxed at ease, it supports lowering your blood pressure, slowing down your heart rate. We do our healing when we're in a relaxed state. When we're under stress, we're in a flight or fight, and then our body's tense and our systems are not functioning at its optimal level. But when we ease back and we reduce our stress level, our body can heal, our mind can heal, and we're a whole being. Right, we're a mind, body, and soul. We're not just a physical. So we need to help the mind and help our spirit, which also will help our physical state as well.
And so with these programs, I know prior to getting on air, you mentioned you offer this 8 weeks program, this wellness program that will assist with weight loss, that also can assist with any ailments that people have. Does that program encompass, of course, the food and the cooking, but does it also include the meditation as well as the Reiki healing?
We are adding the mindfulness component
Yes.
as well to the program in order to support people with their journey as well. And they can always come for a Reiki session, and I think everybody should. Yes, but the mindfulness aspect to help them center and to focus is also being added to the 8-week program.
Yes, it does have a section into meditation, but we're going to add more and more practices of Johanna in that program too.
And so I know you're offering some cooking classes that people can join in, even if they're not part of the 8 weeks program. However, the 8 weeks program is really what you're encouraging people to participate in, so that there's a new lifestyle system being designed, right? However, they're also invited to just participate in individualized cooking classes that are plant-based driven, right?
Yes. So we try to like teach different type of cuisines, just so everybody understand that it doesn't matter where you're from or what your background is, you can always cook healthier. And that's why we do Mediterranean, we have Mexican, we have cheeses, we have also pasta, Italian, even burgers, anything can be transformed into a plant-based diet. Or more nutrition or healthier. So that's what I'm trying to teach everybody.
Can you just share with everyone the benefits of eating a plant-based diet?
Yes. So the benefits of that is, as soon as you start changing your diet and a more plant-based, meaning no cheese, no dairy, no meats, right? What it does is it reduces your cholesterol. In more or less a month, your numbers will be less than half. Your glucose levels also goes down. Your inflammation, meaning if you have pain, if you have arthritis, if you have any of that, will start reducing slowly. Up to like 6 months, you're going to have a lot less pain. Your digestion it becomes regular, right? As women especially, we all have like bloating and stuff like that daily. So as soon as you start changing to a plant-based nutrition, that bloating starts to go away. And also, I think one of the most important things is that you start having more energy, right? Just because when you start having a cleaner diet, everything starts working better, and then your level of energy goes up.
Right. Well, I think it's important to educate our community in understanding the difference in plant-based dieting, and how you can actually design it to taste like it is meat, but it's not meat. Because most people think it's like a trend, but it's truly a mindfulness of being considerate of how the body's organs are working, right? Because it eases their functions. And then there's also this component of the sound meditation that is now working with the vibration of how you're actually in just taking in whatever noise pollution, whatever it is that's occurring, especially living in the city. I'm saying this because, I really enjoyed that sound bath meditation. And I think it's important that people really approach, especially during this particular time, their entire lifestyle alter itself to just having this mindfulness, not only with eating, but with this other aspect of our existence, because we're all kind of uptight right now.
We are. Sound is everywhere. It's the first sense that's developed in utero, right? And it's also one of the last senses that leave. We are always immersed in sound. And when we do a sound bath, sound meditation, you don't have to take off your clothes. What it means is that you're bathing in sound, right? We're vibrational beings. And by receiving sound in this way, it's like a guide into a state of meditation. All you have to do is listen. You don't have to do anything but receive. And it helps you to just deeply relax. Just take an hour out and just relax and receive sound, and let that vibration help to reset and rebalance you.
Yes, it's definitely something I highly recommend. She uses a gong. She uses different sound bowls. There's other sound effects that kind of represented the ocean, and the thing is, it's all live. So I highly recommend it, and I understand that they're offering it once a month now.
Yes, so last Friday of every month we're going to do it.
And then the cooking classes, before we go, I understand the one coming up is sold out, right? Because it's a limited amount of people. It is in person. And again, she's teaching like culinary dishes that are cultural, but yet are plant-based conscious.
Exactly. Yes. The one that is sold out is empanadas. And then we're doing vegan cheeses. So we're going to be teaching like how to do 4 types of cheeses that are made of a cow or milk.
Right.
And those are going to be very like tasteful. And then we have pasta, and we also have a seitan that is like a meat type consistency and flavor. I don't know how to say it. It's, you know, it comes like a,
It's a
it
meat
looks like-
substitute, but it fits into any meal where you have meat. You just
Yeah.
use some seitan, and it's so flavorful because you can flavor it any way that you want to fit whatever it is you're cooking.
You can even, it looks like even like cold cuts if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it's important that our people start exploring and just considering just altering, because unfortunately we're in a place right now that we need to take action for ourselves. I mean, this pandemic is now offering this new strain and this new variant, and really, while yes, we're all vaccinated, we need to be proactive in making sure that we're feeding our bodies the food as medicine.
Especially because you need to be healthy to attack the virus, right? If you have plenty of chronic condition, then the virus attacks you way worse. So if you're healthier and your immune system is high, then you can attack the virus better.
Yeah, and of course, there's the mindfulness of keeping the stress level low. Thank you both for being here with us, and thank you for offering these services to our community, Cecilia Basbus and Johanna Verley. And for you guys, if you're interested in learning more on CB Health and Wellness and the center that is, and of course, their upcoming cooking classes and sound meditation baths, you can visit cbhealthandwellness.com. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to hear about a concert series taking place in the gardens of the Bronx. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. So Stage Garden Rumba, that's Pregones PRTT's annual concert series, and it's back. And this time they're in partnership with We Stay, Nos Quedamos. The series is featuring multidisciplinary artists, actors, singers, dancers, writers, along with activists in outdoor green spaces in the Bronx. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome Pregones PRTT Associate Artistic Director, Jorge B. Merced. Hola, Jorge.
Saludos, everyone. Rhina, so great to see you and so great to be in your living room again with all the colors that you always emanate out of there, from all the energy that comes out. So it's a pleasure being here with you.
Oh, thank you for saying that, because, you know, bueno, por lo menos estamos aquí todavía with the virtual studio is what I call it. También I call it Chari Executive Suite, which is Char and Rhina. Yeah, I renamed it because it's like everybody's been in my living room.
That's so great. That's so great.
But I know we're going to be talking about the Stage Garden Rumba. However, I do want to acknowledge you and open up with this amazing article that I read in the New York Times about Pregones PRTT being awarded $3 million by the city. And I understand some of it's from the mayor, the Bronx Borough President's office. And I just want to acknowledge you as well as everybody who is a part of Pregones PRTT and how you've been able to sustain yourselves as a cultural institute, as well as the artists that are from the Bronx and of course abroad, being Latinos and Puerto Rican. It's really admirable.
Thank you, Rhina. And we are so proud of all the people that have come forth to say, hi, I know Pregones, and I'm so proud of the accomplishments that you've had the same way as you are doing right now. And we have been doing all this work because we believe in the Bronx, and the Bronx is our home. And it's the place where so many of our artists continue to create amazing art that then travels throughout the entire world to represent our Boogie Down BX borough. And this grant that we received to complete the renovation of our offices and our administrative building, and to also add more education rooms so we can teach more classes, so we can have more galleries, so we can record music in our space. It's really a long journey that we've been toiling at, and happy to finally announce that we received full funding to move forward. So we can't wait until we share this new facility with you, but we also thank everyone who has stepped up and said, we believe in the work that this company is doing, and this is for you. This place and this new facility that is right there on Walton Avenue, is right next to the theater, is going to be a place where I hope many generations continue to enjoy the work that we do at Pregones PRTT. So we're really happy about this.
Well, it's amazing, and congratulations. And when he says this for you, he's referring to you guys, our community. Yes. That's what it's there. It's accessible. You know, Broadway caliber and quality right there in your backyard. And so with that, right now they happen to be traveling throughout the gardens in the Bronx. And so let's talk about the Stage Garden Rumba.
Sure. I think this is one of my personal favorite programs that we have at Pregones PRTTs, where we get to step out of our theater and go right into our communities and to celebrate the work of these amazing stewards and leaders of our communities, the ones that are taking care of our green spaces, our gardens. And they're amazing activists, and they are people who really devote their lives to making sure that our communities have a safe space. And now in the pandemic, more than ever, these open spaces have become that central gathering place for many in our community to come and celebrate with each other. We have 10 of these concerts that unite activists with artists and performers and musicians and audience members, and we all gather in a garden, and we have it's like imagine having a barbecue in your backyard or at your family's home, and that's how it feels when you get to the gardens. It's been amazing to see people come out in the ones that we've done already. We're going to continue doing this through September, the end of September. Right. And we invite you to come and share with us and meet artists and activists and poets that have come together for the series. This year, we have an amazing group of curators who have worked with us in selecting the different artists for each one of the gardens. And of course, our very own Caridad de la Luz, La Bruja, is our master of ceremonies and the one who curates all the poets that you will see at each of the gardens. So it's a really special moment to come out of hibernation from the pandemic and join outdoors in a safe space and hug each other and listen to good art, listen to good music, and to take care of each other, take care of each other's souls. We have an entire list of artists who are top notch. And you know, Rhina, one thing that's happening this year as well is that part of the Stage Garden Rumbas, that are the ones that are remaining now through September, are dedicated to collecting stories from our Bronxites and people who lived through the Bronx fires. We are doing a show called Torched that is going to premiere as part of our next season. And it's built from all the stories of how we as a borough and as a people are so resilient, and we were able to endure the Bronx fires and build the communities that we have today. So each day, each Stage Garden Rumba has a different theme about different moments of communities coming together and celebrating, getting over that stigma that the Bronx was burning and all the things that we all know that people talk about the Bronx. No, we say, no, we're still here, and there are green spaces in the Bronx, and there are artists who are sharing that space, dancers, choreographers, musicians. So come on over. We have a full calendar of events, and you're not going to regret it. But most of all, you get to support the activists and the garden communities that are really actively working to make sure that the Bronx remains a place for us to celebrate. So I'm really happy to do this again. This is the third year in a row that we've been doing it, and it's a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun. I've been following the tidbits here and there through social media, and I love that you are visiting the different gardens, and all the gardens look different. And for me, gardens are symbolic of sustainability, because that is how we're able to survive, right? Through that form of agriculture. Agriculture is also part of our cultura, and once you have that in the can, you can pretty much survive anything, right? And so it's celebrating the green spaces that are built within our urban community, and then bringing all these different styles of artists, right? You didn't mention that there's usually live percussion sessions going on as well. So literally the word rumba applies to it, because there's percussionists that perform throughout these presentations as well.
Totally, and the poets are amazing as well. And the music, it's just the kind of music that you need after being indoors for a year and a half. you come out and you celebrate music with people, and you get to dance with us, and you get to really enjoy the top quality musicians that are coming to each of the Stage Garden Rumbas. Each one is very different. Each one has a different theme and a different outlook. Our curators worked really hard at making sure that each one of the Stage Garden Rumbas represents and reflects the community where it's at. And we also have guest activists who come to talk to us during the Stage Garden Rumba for a few minutes about what are the issues that are impacting that particular neighborhood. And we get to talk about it, we get to celebrate it, we get to share resources, but most of all, we get to enjoy art together in an open space. These are free events. These gardens are made for the audience, are for the public to walk right in and to establish community. And that's why it's so important for us at Pregones PRTT, not to stay within the walls of the theater, but to understand that here in the Boogie Down, in the Bronx, we know what community means, and the way we build community is right there, going directly to those spaces that are actively participating in the revitalization of our neighborhoods. And the curators are amazing. We have Eddie Pagan from Nos Quedamos, who is taking charge of all the activists at each of the different sites. Like I mentioned, Caridad de la Luz, La Bruja. It's amazing, an amazing MC, and you get to see a different poem from her every single site, plus the poets that she curates. And we have Julia Gutierrez from Los Pioneros, formerly from Los Pioneros de la 21, and now an entity on her own. And she is curating a lot of the performances that are from dance to music. It's really a celebration. It really is a celebration of us as a community in the Bronx. So I really invite you to follow us, to come down. Bring a chair, bring your family. It's completely safe, and it's a way to support artists throughout this amazing journey. We've had so much joy in making sure that our family of artists, and by that I don't mean just the immediate family, but artists who are creating in the Bronx continue to have work. And this is also one of the ways in which we celebrate the artists that have created amazing art throughout this pandemic. And you get to see it right there. It's like in your backyard. So.
Exactly. En vivo and amongst community. Bueno, gracias for bringing it to us. Jorge B. Merced, Associate Artistic Director, Pregones. And you guys, for more on Stage Garden Rumba, there are other gardens they're going to be visiting up until September. You can visit Pregones, PRTT.org. All right, don't go anywhere. We've got Bobby C coming up.
Last time out, we spoke with racing legend Willie T. Ribbs. Here's part 2 of that interview. Despite all the obstacles, as you mentioned, you had so much success on the track. You know, you've become a legend in Trans Am, IndyCar. You also competed in IMSA, Champ Car, NASCAR, the Truck Series, now SRX. You know, do you have any animosity knowing that you could have been the first F1 champion and the sport would not allow you that opportunity? And if you don't have animosity, how do you not? Because I know that I would.
I don't have animosity, but I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to hold the sport of auto racing accountable. Okay. And we're going to get some things cleared up, whether you like it or not. You know, I grew up on a ranch. You know, you don't get your work done, you get taken out to the woodshed, right? Well, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm not going to be mad at you, but we're going to get some things handled. You know, you can't go through life bitter, but you can't go through life being a sap either, and turning another cheek. Can't do it.
You had so many people that helped you in your journey. And one of them, I'd like to think, you know, we spoke to Bobby Unser before he passed away right here on the show. And I think we might have actually been the last interview that he gave. I know you attended the memorial services in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What did Bobby Unser and the Unser family mean to you? They are so prominently featured in the documentary. And a shout out to Lisa Unser. She sent me a beautiful card from the memorial services miss Bobby Unser every day.
I have that card, and I put that card in my trophy case. That card that you just held up. I mean, I love Uncle. Of all the old school drivers, Bobby Unser was the one that supported me the most, that had my back the most, that defended me the most. And he's somebody that I would go to blows for in a heartbeat. Al Unser Jr. is probably my best friend of all the drivers ever. We're business partners as well. Al Unser Jr. and I talk every day. And so it's the family has been awesome to me and been very supportive, and I support them as well. And you know, I carried Uncle Bobby's casket. I carried him at the funeral to his grave. All right, that was the biggest honor that I could ever have.
Tremendous honor. You know, and Willie too, again, showcasing some cool collectibles, because I know these people are so valuable to you. But you know, the Unser card here signed by the family. But this gentleman too, you know, how important was legendary racer Dan Gurney and even team owner Jim Truman to your story?
Well, one wouldn't have happened without the other. Jim Truman, when I came back from England a champion. One of the best Americans to ever go to Europe or England and race, right? When I came back, I had no support. And I met Jim Truman by accident. I didn't know who he was, but I met him in the pits at Laguna Seca Raceway, and a friend of mine knew him and introduced me to him, and he knew who I was, and he asked me what my plans were, and I told him. And he says, well, give me a call, and we'll see if we can't make it work. And it was Truman that put me in a racing car that got me noticed by Paul Newman. And then after that, the rest is history.
Amazing story in the documentary. Definitely touching stuff. I mean, just the relationships that you built. I mean, despite, again, all the obstacles and all the people that really tried to set you up to fail, there were definitely a lot of people along the way that helped you in your journey.
You know what? That's the great thing about life and about people. You can never quit. And there's a lot of people that give up or you know, quit on themselves. Never quit, because something is going to happen, something positive. With all the negatives that happen, something is going to happen. And if you're a good person, people recognize that. They recognize your talent. They recognize the kind of person you are, your heart, etc. And you'll get it. And it happened. And I had, despite the negative people that I dealt with in the sport, the people that tried to hurt me and take me out of the sport, there was those few that pushed me.
It was so great to be there for the premiere doc in Indianapolis. And word on the street now, Willie, is that you have a TV series about your life in the works. Is that true?
It is true. Showtime. And I signed a 4-year deal, 10 episodes a year. And it's just not Showtime. The producers, Brian Koppelman. Brian Koppelman produces Showtime's #1 show, Billions. Koppelman's producing, and the one and only Don Cheadle is directing. So yeah, it's a great group. I mean, as great as you can get, and I'm delighted to be a part of it and help create the lead character.
Willie, you've been doing a lot of traveling these days for another sport. I know that you're actually into shooting these days. Your son is a professional in the sport as well. Tell us a little bit about traveling the world in a different capacity outside of racing.
I grew up on a ranch, so I grew up shooting, all right, with my grandpa. And when the season was over, I would, shoot clays, right? And I liked shooting and I liked competing. So I started competing, clay shooting, right? And going to tournaments around the country. Well, Theo started traveling with me, and he would go out and practice with me when he was a little kid and push the buttons. And when he was 9, he started shooting. And when he was 12, he started taking it very serious. And 14, he was full time. And when I stopped racing, I thought I was going to just retire and not do any traveling. I ended up doing more traveling with him. I was going to Dubai. I was going to Italy, England, Mexico, traveling all over the world with Cyprus, and that's just out of the country. And I had to travel with him because he was too young to rent a car. But as it turned out, he ended up becoming junior national champion. He ended up becoming K-Cup overall national champion. That's against 3,000 shooters, right? So Theo's one of the top shooters in the world. I'm proud of his success and his commitment. And he's blazing his own trail because he's a pioneer in his own right.
That's awesome. Awesome story, Willie T. And I hope that you keep traveling, because I really would love to see you keep driving. The first Black driver to qualify for the Indy 500 in 1991 and again in 1993, finishing all 500 miles. Like I said, I hope that you keep racing, Willie T. We could use more of that Ali shuffle in our lives.
Well, I want to get Ernie Francis Jr. to start doing the Ali shuffle. He won one of the SRX races. In fact, he won Indy. Won the IRP race, and he got up on the car, and I told him, I said, during the beginning of the season, Ernie, if you win a race, you got to reenact that shuffle, right? You're light and skinny, and you can move your legs because I can't. And so he didn't do it.
He was the youngest driver in the series, I believe 23.
Yeah, no, actually, Haley Deegan was the youngest. She was 19, and then, Luke Stenhouse, 17. He ran Slinger, 17. I'm 49 years older. Now he's a grandson age, right? But I love racing with the kids, and they're aggressive, boy. They're on their way up the hill, and me and Waltrip and Bill Elliott, we're walking down the hill.
Well, race fans, you can keep up with Willie at officialwillietribs.com. Willie, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Bobby C, come out to Texas. I'm going to get a shotgun in your shoulder. You're going to shoot some plays with us.
I would love that. I've never done that before, so that would be very cool.
All right.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, and producer from New York City who got the music bug after watching Jamie Foxx's Oscar-winning performance in the biopic Ray. He, inspired by Donny Hathaway, Lew developed his own interest in composition and storytelling. And last year, he debuted his single Retwist, featured on a number of Spotify playlists, and just recently surpassed 3.1K streams. And he's here to tell us more about his upcoming projects. Please welcome Lew Mckenzie. Hey, Lew, what's up?
Thank you. Glad to be here virtually. Doing well. How you doing?
We're good. Welcome. Congratulations on, just forging through and forging forward despite the circumstances. I know recently you had a performance at the Boogie Down Grind.
Yes.
And so it's how's that been for you, like getting back out into the public and being with people?
That was a quite an evening, because we were just doing a duo show, me and my friend Fresco, and it started to pour. And we had our equipment out in the rain. And the minute they called us out on, well, not on stage, but outside to perform, the skies just opened up, started raining on my keyboard, this drum set. So, it just looked real bad. And I started to beat myself up. We started to question why we even out here. And then we just made it into a tiny desk sort of vibe inside Boogie Down, and it was amazing. Everybody was close. It was intimate. We had a lot of crowd participation, and this was my first gig since last year, pre-pandemic. So it was just good to be in a room with great energy and to feed off the crowd. And I'm waiting to do it again. I'm waiting for the next opportunity, because once you start performing, it's like a drug. You need it, and you continually look for it.
Yeah, it's like you look forward to that exchange. But from what I hear, from what you just shared, what I heard was that you was blessed with the cleansing.
I wish I could. I wish I could call it that. That was just a lot of rain, and but it was something. I'm really glad it turned out to be as good as it did, because it was questionable at first, really questionable.
Right. It was a big storm. I'm assuming that was the day that we had that really, really big storm, right? And you said you were outside, and all right, we got visitors now.
Sorry about that.
Gotta love the Zoom. It's all good. But going back to the questionable presentation, that was your first time being outdoors with public since the pandemic, and here it pours on you, and then somehow you were able to just adjust the circumstances and relocate inside, creating a vibe. You've got this lovely streaming going on, and as far as I'm concerned, you're still forging forward. You know what I mean? You've got a new EP on its way. So let's talk about that.
Well, the EP, we recorded it last year in the middle of the pandemic. I recorded it in Brooklyn at the studio called Little Cheddar. It didn't start out as a project. We just started doing one song. We didn't know what to expect of it, but organically it just continued to grow. And we ended up recording from about April all the way to December. And, you know, we finished up with this pretty beautiful project. We don't know what we're going to do with it as of yet. We're still working through some things, but it just felt good, because throughout the whole pandemic, we didn't know what was going to happen, when we were going to be able to perform again. So just to come into this little community of creatives that I know, and to create this work that we're proud of, I'm almost nervous to put it out in the world. It's something that I like to hold on to. I'll never forget it because of the circumstances. But as an artist, you know, you want to share your work with people. You want people to appreciate what it is that you put into the world. So ultimately, I'm gonna have to release it sooner or later. But
right. You're gonna have to let go. You're gonna have to let go.
Right. I just enjoy being able to listen to it and know that this is something that we did, and just enjoy it before I put it out there. We put out 2 songs so far from it, Journey and Masterpiece. Those were released, but we remixed them a little bit, and we're gonna re-release them again once the project comes out.
So how many altogether on the EP?
6 songs.
Six. And it sounds like it was an emotional moment. You got a lot going on over there.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. This is the virtual world we're living in. How about we end on this note? What are you going to be presenting for us today? Because I know we get an exclusive here on Open.
I'm going to do this song called Masterpiece. I think it perfectly represents how I felt during the pandemic and how I feel about music. So it's my gift. As I said at Boogie Down Cafe, I dedicate that song to all the people, you know, that are riding with me, that are pulling for me. That's my gift to everyone. So we'll be performing Masterpiece today.
Bravo. Thank you. All right, well, don't go anywhere, because we have to take a quick break. But when we return, Lew Mckenzie is going to perform Masterpiece for us. You don't want to miss. Hey everyone, welcome back. Here now to perform. Let's welcome Lew Mckenzie.
Your presence I just can't explain, but I knew from the moment you came. It's your beauty, you move like a song, and all that you do, I'm in awe. Yeah. The best part of you is your warm melody. Love to hear it again and again every time you tell me. In with both feet in, heart is beating. Know that this could be. Whoa, you are. You're just like a masterpiece. You're better than a classic, and I've got to have you. Yeah, these are the makings of a masterpiece. In the hour of night I wait, anticipate a return to the place. A symphony is beginning to swell. My soul is caught under your spell. 'Cause it feels so pure when you're in front of me. And the magic we make in the sweetest key. Am I just dreaming? Feeling is fleeting. Know that this could be. Oh, you are. You're just like a masterpiece. You're better than a classic, and I've got to have you. Yeah, these are the makings of a masterpiece. You see, I only wanna frame it if it's really that flow. Lift the spirits when I had to, when they're really that low. You got that piece of the puzzle, stop that show. Make them bow down only till you're ready to go. I'm thinking back to the moment when you said that you didn't know. Thinking it's the opportunity we needed to grow. See, I believe that even if you thought you couldn't see that. Rose gold tinted singing, where's my masterpiece at? Spin through the night on the record, your vibe, no place I'd rather be. Holding on to your side with you and verified. Remains to be seen that you are. You're just like a masterpiece. You're better than a classic, and I've got to have you. Yeah, these are the makings. And you are. So many wish that they could have you. And you are. It's been so long, you know I had to. These are the makings of a masterpiece. And these are the makings of a masterpiece.
For more on Lew Mckenzie, be sure to follow him on Instagram at Musical Lew. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through. And to you, our viewers, for tuning in. you missed any part of the show, you can check out the Recablecast tonight, 24 hours a day, at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adios.